I'd like to call this meeting to order. Good evening, everybody. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter.
Present.
Freeholder Estrada.
Present.
Freeholder Hudak. Freeholder Jallo.
Here.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Here.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Present.
Freeholder Wright.
Here.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Present.
And Chairman Bergen.
Here.
Chairman, you have 8 freeholders present.
Thank you. Clerk of the Board, please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would the clerk kindly read the Statement of Compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
The chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2017, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2017 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2017 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. This is our agenda-setting meeting. Next week, we will adopt communication at our regular meeting. Next, we move on to proposed resolutions. First, we have the Office of Union County Clerk, County Clerk Joanne Rajabi.
It's good luck.
I was going to say, it's your lucky day.
Good
then.
evening, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, freeholders. We have one resolution on, and it is to amend a resolution, a contract with Mutual Group of Mountainside, New Jersey, for an additional $3,100 to include additional work on a design plan for renovations to our office.
Thank you. Any questions from Freeholder Board? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you very much, and I'll
Move.
leave the penny up here.
Okay, thank you.
Not to worry. We'll put it towards your taxes, George.
Next, we have the Office of Union County Sheriff. Standing in for the Sheriff, we have Lieutenant Meros. Lieutenant?
Good evening, Lieutenant Maros, Union County Sheriffs. We are proposing a resolution authorizing the county manager to enter into agreement with our time management system, the amount not to exceed $22,004 that will renew our annual maintenance agreement with the VCS company and will provide the attendance of one employee for their conference.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Seeing none, thank you. Office of the County Prosecutor, First Assistant Prosecutor Eisenhower.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. The Prosecutor's Office has one resolution on. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Freeholders?
Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
Thank you.
Department of Administrative Services, Director Yuska.
Good evening, freeholders. I have one resolution for your consideration. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Yes, Freeholder Mirabella.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director, can you just talk about the nature of this increase at the just at a high level, please?
Certainly, freeholder. Through you, Mr. Chair. It is our usual policy to expand stipends for lawyers that were picked through competitive RFP as the need arises. In this particular case, the Bernstein firm is currently handling 4 ongoing internal disciplinary appeals, 1 disciplinary appeal before the Office of Administrative Law, and 2 working test period appeals. So they will be continued billing probably till the end of the year. We're hoping that this stipend, additional stipend, will get us through to the end of the year.
Okay, thank you. I asked because of the increase is substantial compared to the original award, but I appreciate it.
Anyone else? Thank you, Director. Department of Economic Development, Deputy County Manager Amy Wagner.
Good evening, Freeholders. The Department of Economic Development has one resolution for your consideration, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Yes, Freeholder Kowalski.
Yes, would you just give us a little bit of a overview of how many kinds of things GIS deals with? I mean, this is a substantial amount of money, but it's, we get a lot of bang for our buck, right?
What this part is, has to do with the online crisis mitigation plan, which you all had a presentation on last year. We scanned the plans for all the schools throughout the county. So one of Chairman Bergen's initiatives this year was to open it up for any other public buildings that the municipalities wanted included in their plans. So that's what this amount of money is for. It's a not to exceed. We weren't sure how much participation we would get, so we sent it out to all of the municipalities. We've heard back from 17 of the 21 already. I know we're getting something from 2 of them, 2 of those 4 that we hadn't heard from. One said they're fine, they don't need anything else. And the other one, I'm not sure what's going on with that one, but we'll follow up with them as well.
Anyone else? Yes, Freeholder Jallo.
I don't know that you can answer this, but how is this different than the digital imagery in the Department of Engineering that's on the agenda today?
I'm not.
I didn't. Maybe together.
Tom Minio's here, or Matt's here.
It may just complement it, is that correct?
The digital imagery, through you, Mr. Chairman, that's to get our images from above. So they set marker points, and then we can just realign our GIS mapping. Every 5 years, we have to do that. So they send up planes, and then we get the pictures from up top. This is a whole different thing. This is a crisis mitigation plan that's being extended into buildings within Union County.
So is it wishful thinking for me to say if one company did both of them, we could save money, or do they do complete different things?
Well, yeah, well, they're actually 2 separate services, 2 separate companies.
Okay, all right.
Anyone else? Yes.
Mr. Chairman, just briefly, I see Matt Mathan is here, and I can speak firsthand the benefit that that GIS as an overall base and this additional work that's being done is so helpful to the communities and the municipalities around Union County. So I think this is a terrific idea. I wholeheartedly support that, and I thank Matt for all his efforts. Really, if people don't know, that Union County is on the cutting edge and way ahead of other counties from a GIS perspective, and there's so many layers that are built in and so much information that's there that that this is really a great benefit to our county, and I'm so thankful that we have experts like Matt under Joe and Amy's work to kind of make that happen for us. So it's wonderful, and I just want to give them a good plug. They deserve it. They do a good job.
Absolutely.
Ching,
agree.
ching.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Also, if I may add, Matt and his staff rolled out the new Trails app today for our Parks Committee, and they were so impressed they would like a demonstration to be given to the entire board and the public at a future date.
Great.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you. Department of Engineering, Public Works, and Facilities Management. Mr.
Good evening,
Garcia.
Chairman, Freeholders. I have 16 resolutions on your printed agenda. I'd like to bring one up from the floor as well.
Why don't you explain that one?
The one from the floor is it's a banner and a road closure for Plainfield. They have their annual fire prevention week, and it's October, I think October 7th it is, and we just want to make sure we want to get that on the board. Before that, we just got their information this morning, the rest of their information. So they sent us over their resolution, and we're just concurring with it on here. So
Very
that's the
good. We'll
information you have on the
add
next
that
one.
on. And do the freeholders have any question about any of these 17 resolutions? Yes. Freeholder Estrada.
17 resolutions. I'm sure there'll be at least 10 questions tonight.
Hope so.
Joe, there's a couple of these resolutions that deal with Gordon Street Bridge in Roselle Park. As you know, they have, I've been to many meetings that you have been present with the Department of Transportation and everything else, but where are we with that? Are they moving in any direction? I know that they have indicated that we needed to take over some properties to make the access. a
Yeah,
little better.
we've had to do that, and also DOT has expanded the project now to include, I believe, that U-turn right across the street there. So that's what this is for here. We're expected, I guess, fall of 2018 for this thing to go out for construction at that point. So that's right where we're at now. Again, it's through the state through NJDOT, and we're kind of acting as a pass-through, but not really a pass-through. So that's why we accept the money in one of the resos, and then we're giving it to Hardesty and Hanover, who is the consultant that they asked us to hire through this whole project. But right now we're on a target of the fall of 2018.
So in some of the meetings that I attended, this particular bridge is considered, it has the rating of being, trying to think of the right word, is deficient.
It's structurally deficient.
It's structure deficient. Is that still a concern, or in terms of, would it be okay through that time frame, or?
Yes, we will be okay, but I'm going to let Tom Minio explain that. He's a little more versed in the categories of the bridges, if that's okay. Our town
Appreciate it.
county engineer.
Yes, as a precaution, the bridge is posted, the roadway is posted, so trucks aren't allowed to go over it now. So it's very safe for cars. And also, during the early 2000s, the state did do a temporary reconditioning of that bridge. They painted it, they put the concrete edges and stuff. So I feel pretty confident, we all feel confident that the bridge will be fine for another several years until we begin the actual construction.
Okay, because my concern is not necessarily the lookings of the bridge, but actually the wooden foundations that the bridge is set up on.
Well, the one span is a wooden span.
Right.
It's still, it's not rotten or anything like that. It's old, it's undersized for trucks, that's why we don't want trucks to go over it. But if one would, it's not.
Yeah, Minio is the name, is that correct? T. Minio? No, I appreciate that information very much. Definitely, if anybody crosses that bridge, wouldn't even think of the issues that we're discussing here, but it is one of the ones that is in the Union County list, and I think that we have been talking about it for numerous years, and DOT was supposed to, I guess, speed it up, but I guess 2018 is not necessarily the fastest.
And the state will continue to do their inspections, and if they come up with anything after that that's worse, then they will shut the bridge down if they have to.
Okay.
And just for, it is at this point.
It's an orphan bridge.
The owner of the bridge is still an orphan bridge.
Right, it's an orphan bridge, I realize
So,
that.
From that perspective.
No, I understand all those points, but we're concerned about the people who travel through there every day, and let me tell you, there's a lot of people who cross that bridge every day. So,
Thank you.
that's all I'm looking at. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Yes. Freeholder Mirabella.
Thank you. I appreciate the questions from Freeholder Estrada. He's right and to be concerned and to ask the questions. My question, Director, is, so it's classified as an orphan bridge, which kind of, nobody wants to take possession of. Are there other orphan bridges within Union County, and if so, what's the status of those?
Yes, there are.
Numerous.
How many?
How many other orphans do we have?
Other orphan bridges.
Maybe the state can adopt them.
What I'd have to get you is I can't give you, but all the ones that go over the Central
Railroad,
Railroad
okay.
between
Orphans.
north and south, or the names as they change, they're all orphan. Right now, the state's working on Route 27, Cherry Street. That's an orphan bridge that the state is taking care of directly because it's on a state highway.
Okay.
So there are a number, and that's probably in a similar condition to Gordon Street.
All right, so, imagine the other freeholders might be interested in knowing where those
I'll get you the
other
list.
ones are.
I will
Yeah,
get you.
that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Yes. Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. Reference to number one, what was the total cost for last year for 2017 road resurfacing?
Last year was a little different. Last year was 20 miles, 20-plus miles. It was right in the same range. They all, they all range between 275 and 350, depending on the roads. All the roads are different, so every design is different. So I can't, you really can't compare one year to the other because the roads are all
It's roughly
different.
around the same number,
Around
correct?
the same number, yes.
Okay.
yes.
And then for number 5,
yes,
there's another 107 days added.
yes.
What's the reason behind that?
So that's a change order for T&M. That's a Madison Hill Road bridge. There was some conditions that were unexpected due to a water line that the water a company was concerned about. vibration from the bridge that was going to affect the sheet piling right there on there, and also part of the governor's shutdown also is part of this, that which also delayed the project. And also the original design of this bridge had the road completely shut down, and then it was changed, the whole design was changed due to leaving one lane of traffic open so you can always go through. So between those three issues and the new design of the pipe and everything else from the water company's request, that is this change for that. So we're looking to finish that somewhere in December of this year. It should be completed at that point. To finish the
November
rest of
30th, right?
I'm saying December 1st.
You adding an extra day on this
Yeah,
thing?
I
What's
am.
going on here?
That's why I said December, so I'm hoping by the end of the year. I mean,
All right.
you never know what's going to happen, so yes, by November 30th.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, thank you, Director.
Thank you, Chairman.
Department of Finance, Director B.B. Taylor.
Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. The Department of Finance has 8 resolutions for your consideration this evening, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you. Freeholders, any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Department of Human Services, Acting Director Karen Dinsmore, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. The Department of Human Services has 8 resolutions on for your consideration, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Freeholders? Yes, Freeholder Mirabella.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any questions, but I just want to recognize the acting director. I know I wasn't here last month when Director Guzzo had his last meeting, retired, but I'm sure he's left the department in very good hands, in yours, and I look forward to working with you for as long as that is, in one capacity or the other. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Any questions from the board? Yes, Freeholder Estrada.
Thank you very much. Just a quick one. Number 4, they're using, that's a reverse commute for New Jersey JARC C, number 4. What exactly is this going to be part of?
This is the JARC funding. Previously, it was FTA money from the feds. It's now state dollars, but it funds the Route 22 shuttle.
Shuttle, okay. So that's what funds the shuttle, right?
Yes.
So the cost of the shuttle this year is going to be $460,000?
Yes. It's a 7-day-a-week operation.
It's a 100% county match.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you. Department of Parks and Recreation, Director Zuber.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Freeholders. Department of Parks and Recreation has 1 resolution for your consideration on tonight's agenda, and I'll try to answer any questions you have.
Thank you. Freeholders? Thank you.
Thank you.
Office of the County Council, Council Barry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Office of the County Council has 1 item on tonight's agenda. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Office of the County Manager Fayella.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Office of the County Manager has 1 resolution for your consideration. Just been advised that, number 1, there still are some issues to be worked out, so ask number 1 to be withdrawn.
Very good. Any questions on County Manager's 2nd resolution? Seeing none, we'll move on. Freeholder-sponsored resolutions. Are there any additional resolutions or any friendly amendment requests from the board?
Yes.
Freeholder Kowalski.
I will have an additional resolution from the Public Works, Parks, and Facilities Committee, and I also will have a condolence resa.
Thank you. Anybody else? Clerk, please note that I may have a few more advisory board appointments for next week's agenda. Closing that portion, we do have a need to go into executive session this evening, and I'm going to ask the county council to please make the statement relative to same.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, a public body may enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing certain enumerated subjects. This board now wishes to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing attorney-client privilege communications and discussions relative to the matter of Esposito versus Borough of Roselle et al., and discussions relating to the ongoing negotiations of the county guarantee agreements on the Mind and Body project between the County of Union and the Union County Improvement Authority. The minutes of the executive session shall be separated from the minutes of the open public session. The minutes of the executive session, redacted as appropriate and necessary, shall be available in approximately 30 days. Clerk to the board shall retain the original minutes until such time as the confidential limitations have been removed, at which time they shall be made available. Upon the affirmative vote of a majority of the members present, the board may retire to executive session. Upon the board's return, it will not take any formal action on the matters discussed.
Thank you. May I please have a...
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
I neglected to bring up one thing. I will have a sponsorship resolution, so I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's fine.
Wanted to make sure I was on the record. Thank you.
Clerk, you got that? Very good. Okay.
Yes, I do. Duly
Now,
noted.
at this point, I would ask for a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Carter, seconded by Freeholder Kowalski. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Jallo.
Abstain.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Aye.
And Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention.
Thank you. And I guess maybe at this point, I'll state for the record, I presume that Freeholder Jallo is going to recuse himself from this discussion.
That is correct.
Thank you. We are now in executive session. May I please have a motion to return from executive?
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Carter. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes, returning back.
Freeholder Jallo. Freeholder Hudak. Freeholder Kowalski.
Here.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright.
Here.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Aye.
And Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
All right, you have 7 freeholders voting in favor of returning to our session.
Thank you. County Council, anything to announce as a result of executive?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a result of our discussions this evening, there will be another resolution added to next week's agenda, which will be a consenting resolution, also known as a Chapter 56 resolution for the Borough of Roselle's project for the construction of a community center and library.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
May I now have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We're adjourned.